Alright, go for it. You on? Okay. Hi. This is a couple of tips for doing toes to bar. Trying to help you guys work on just some technique and things that are going to make you a little bit faster when you're doing it. First thing is on your setup. I much prefer to have a bar that's like right within my reach here. So here I'm up on my toes, but I'm not a long ways back from there. So I can actually hang from this bar. What that's going to help me to do is get my grip more over the top, more like this, with my thumb wrapped over. That's not going to be too much pressure on my forearm because that movement is more about a push than it is trying to pull myself up, okay? So wrapping like this is absolutely fine. What you want to avoid doing is getting into a grip like this because your body is more likely to swing forward as you're doing that. If you stay back like this, you're about 2 inches slightly further back on the bar, which is going to help to balance you a little bit better. Okay, when you're warming up for toes to bar, I much prefer to start off with a piked body position, okay? What this is going to do is going to help me to warm up these muscles in here for moving quickly, all right? So what I'll start is I'll kind of push this bar just like this, okay? And start to pike my body, just like that. Real easy, right? I don't want to create a big swing. Like you see a lot of folks who are way out there. All they're doing is creating a whole lot of extra back and forth movement, and it's highly inefficient. It can get you up there, like it can generate a little bit more power, but when you're running out of gas, it's not very useful, and it's really not that much faster. So, I'm going to start off, like I said, with a real sharp, tight core movement, thinking hollow body. I'm also going to let my shoulders relax all the way to the top, my head relax down. The more I pull back like this, and the more I look up, right, the further back this way I'm going to get. Instead, I want to just drop straight down. Like I said, as part of my warm-up, I'm going to start piking. Just like this. What you're going to notice is that my heels are coming right back to here sharply, and I'm not doing a whole lot of extra kicking, okay? I load down, I shoot up. I load down, I shoot up. Just like anything else, you don't stop in the middle of setting up. You use that energy to pull your body up into it, and you're doing the same thing here. Use the down phase to load right into the next movement, okay? So again, I'm going to pike, and I'm going to work my feet all the way up to the top. Easy. Okay? So that's how I'm going to get started. My feet get back every time, no problem. And again, you don't see me making a whole lot of movement like back this way, because that's not very useful to me, okay? Instead, I'm coming down sharply and coming up sharply, piking the body. Now, we're going to make that a more efficient movement, okay? All I'm going to do, same initiation through the hips, same exact loading, but instead of going out straight, I'm just going to come up with a bent leg, okay? Then at the very end of that movement, I'm just going to kick. It's going to close the rest of that distance out for me. What's really important about this is I'm not trying to pull all the way to the top. I'm trying to make one explosive movement at the bottom, then let that momentum carry me through the rest of it. That lets me rest through more of my repetition, okay? Then I'm going to kick at the top just to close out the last little bit of distance. So I'm going to go through the pike warm-up and then kind of show you bringing your knees up. So here. Then bring the knees up. Again, you see this kind of violent pull right through here. It's not a pull, it's a push. But this violent movement here at the bottom, that's everything exploding, and then as I'm getting up there, number one, it's fast. Number two, I'm not exerting any energy whatsoever at the top of that movement. Highly, highly beneficial. Then, to get back into my position, I'm driving my legs down instead of trying to kick them back. Make sense? Down instead of like back. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Pike into it. Knees up. Down. Okay, so it's like I'm trying to drive my hips back into the ground. Much better than if I was to kick back like this, hyperextend it through the hips, right, and to the back, and all that does is push me forward, okay? Not useful. I don't need a lot of energy behind the bar, okay? I want to stay right in here, literally the entire time I'm doing my toes to bar. The more back and forth I get, the more screwed I am. Some people like to do a double kick, so we're going to go, let's see, how's that work? Just like that. You see that? At the bottom there. You really don't need that much more, and it creates additional variability in the movement. It's actually just extra energy. Okay, it's okay if you're concerned about your feet not getting all the way back behind you to do that. We saw Jason Khalifa do that just recently, and it worked out really well for him. But for the most part, if you're driving straight down and fully extending to the hips, you shouldn't have any problem getting back behind the bar. When you're dropping off the bar, this is why we have this bar here instead of some bar you gotta jump up to. It's a lot of extra energy, it's a lot of extra time. You start swinging. Most people will come forward as they get into it. It already starts a bad pattern. Instead, I'm right here, I'm on my toes, I can grab, and I can go right into the next grab, okay? When you get tired, a bunch of extra jumping up and down, and having to get way up here, support, pull, all that kind of stuff, absolute waste of energy. Rep strategies, hike as much as you want, always kick out at the end. This is gonna clear out a few extra reps. If you've got to drop down and pull once or twice more, it doesn't really matter. Like if it's one more rep, it doesn't matter if you get a perfect pull or not. Just get up there and call it a day, even if your body comes past. Yeah, that's if you have to clear one more rep out. And those are your tips for doing toes to bar, 14-4. Peace.